who is a helpmate already and who can push you and encourage you. Some men, even kingdom men, don't want that. They reject it. They find it overbearing, or they find it that you're being aggressive or that you're bossy. So it's not necessarily that we don't accept that you're taking care of your mama, that she lives with you or whatever, or that you don't have a car. It's when you say you have a plan, right? Like she just said, but you're not following through, or maybe you are following through, but I come in with a fresh opinion, a fresh set of eyes. You don't want that opinion or that direction because you feel like I'm trying to tell you what to do.
Ooh,
So that's a problem as well. It's not so much that we can't be compromising or accept what's going on with you. It's that when I give my opinion about it, or I give my what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say direction, but if I'm just trying to help you get there, you may not like that. Yeah, my
'Cause it is
assistance.
help.
You reject it, and it's just like, that I think that's a big
good.
problem, more than me compromising and accepting what you have going on. Is, let me help you and you not feel like I'm trying to run you
That's good.
or change you. Yes.
Can I address that real quick?
1 minute. I'll come back to you. So that was so good.
Yeah.
So that was very, very good. And it is that we're helping. So because of that, and we're going to come back to you, how does a woman, this leads to another question, how does a woman come in and become a helpmate? Because a lot of the times, I know I have personally been with men that's like, no, you don't have anything to say. This is the vision, and this is what we're doing. And you do what I tell you to do. And that's it, because God gave me the vision. It's God, then me, then you, then the kids. So you need to go to me and I go to God. So I know the vision and you don't. But how does that work? And I think a lot of times in our culture that it's that way as well, right? Where it's like, we come from that, right? Old school, the man is the king of the house. He tells you what it is and you just do it. You don't have an opinion. But how can you be a help? What am I helping you do? How can I be a help? Because sometimes God will give the women, a lot of times, honestly, vision, right? Let's talk about Mary. God didn't go to Joseph and say, hey, I'm about to make her pregnant. It ain't going to be another man. He went to her. And he said, this is what I'm going to do. And she said, be it unto me, as the scripture has said. Then he said, let me go tell. She didn't say, well, I can't. Let me go talk to Joseph real quick because, he ain't going to be for all this. She said, be it unto me. And she had to bear with the fact that her husband, he didn't go to him first. So, and then the angel did come, right, and let the man know. And I think that's a preached message about Joseph and how amazing he was with Mary and fulfilling the vision of God, and understanding, like, man, he didn't have a upfront, I'm going to tell you what to do woman role, but how he took care of her and how he, nurtured her and moved her when God told her to move and this and that. And it wasn't just you following me. It was submission to each other. So I think, how do we deal with that mindset of, woman, I'm the man and you do what I say and that's it, because God is talking to me. He's not talking to you. When God, very much so, we are so sensitive to spiritual things because we're so emotional, right? So as a man, can y'all help me understand that mindset and how should we help that? Go ahead.
Personally, I think it's having the understanding of the wife, knowing that the help is here. A lot of us pray for help, but it's hard for us to receive the help because
good.
we can't separate control from assistance, right? So we're looking at, oh, you're just trying to control me. But if we're in a place where our mind is clouded and we're not able to hear God clearly or operate clearly, we need that assistance. So I think for men, we get so aggressive in our walk with God sometimes that we're not able to see the help as help. We see it as control or unwanted assistance.
That's good.
So
now I want to hear, I'm sorry, was you finished? I don't want to.
Oh, so
that was good.
getting to the place and having the understanding that it's not a one-man team.
Yeah.
It's not a one-man team. It's two becoming one flesh and operating in both gifts at the same time consistently, not just whenever you feel like it, not having the on and off switch on, oh, I don't want to hear you anymore. your way's not working. Instead, being able to sit, conversate, and say, okay, this is the mission at hand. You are my helper, and seeing them as that, but being able to nurture at the same time.
That's so good. Ooh, I don't even know. I think we should just go home. That's so good. So along those lines of what you said, and then I want to hear from you, Nikita. So basically, we need to see each other. We need to see each other as a team, right? And men, y'all are so good with this sports stuff, and y'all see how it works. And it's like not one great man, like, nah, I ain't giving you the ball because I'm the one. I'm the. What is it? Point guard? Is that what they call? Listen, don't judge me, okay? I don't know who's bouncing and throwing the ball. I'm just saying. You know, y'all. It's like y'all function amazing in a team. You know, and it's like it's not about me. I don't have to make all the shots. We just trying to win as a team. Am I right? Is that how y'all think? I just hear y'all talk sometimes. So why can't we come together in a marriage and say it's not about who makes the shot? You better with the finances. Here's the checkbook. You handle that. I'm better with cooking. I'm a man, but I cook better than you. And I'll handle that. Oh, no, I don't cook and clean. You understand what I'm saying? It's how can we come to where it's for the betterment of the team and we just trying to get somewhere together. It doesn't matter who's doing what. And it has to work for your household, right? Because somebody else, you know, you could go to work and the man be like, oh, yeah, I cook for my wife. Like, well, you cook for your wife. And then now they chatting, and, oh, you the woman in the house. You the woman, right? And then you could take that in, and then now you like, no, I'm not doing that. That's not a man's job, right? And now you done let somebody input affect your household, what was keeping you going along the road, right? So you have to kind of do what works for you. But I think that's the biggest thing, right? That's the biggest thing. Do what works for your team. Run the play. Oh, y'all act like I know something about sports. So on that note, because I don't know about sports, I'm going to hand that over to Nikita.
So I agree with what's been said. I think that a major challenge is going to be communication. Mm-hmm. Coming together, understanding what the men's vision is, and then if the woman wants to play a part or not. You can't just force it to work. I think that when it comes to the discussion of what your plans are, you have to have that liberty to say, okay, I'm not feeling this. And you have to have the liberty to say, okay, this is what I need as a man, to say, hey, I need this type of help and this type of assistance. And this is where I see my weaknesses, where I could have some assistance from a woman. And then as a woman, if you want to be a part of that mission, then you need to understand what your role is, if that's what you want to do. If you don't, then you shouldn't force it and then be incompatible as business partners or kingdom partners, and then you're getting angry at each other, or it's causing confusion and frustration. And so I think that when it comes to coming together, there needs to be that initial communication of, this is where I see myself, this is where I'm going, this is what my plan is, this is what my mission is. And then as a woman, you have to say, okay, I want to do this, or I don't want to do this. And I think that's going to be a large part of solving that issue, because you don't want to just get together because you're physically attracted to each other. You have to make sure that you're going to be compatible with each other romantically, as well as if there is a business, or if there is a foundation, or if there is a ministry. You have to make sure you're ready to do this or do that, because I've heard many times where I can't marry a pastor. I can't marry a CEO or somebody who's going to be traveling. I can't marry a celebrity who's going to be surrounded by women or people. And so you have to make sure that going into it, you understand what the big picture is, and then also understand what that entails. So I think it's a large a need for communication to make sure you know what to expect going in.
So you know the twin had to bounce off his brother? He couldn't help it. Go ahead.
So one of the things that I want to add to that and follow up with your sports analogy, and I think this is really big for our culture, our brothers and sisters, that it's now becoming something that's more accepted, is the coach You're talking about the players and the team,
Right.
but there's also coaching. And I equate that to the counseling. Because, sometimes we have to understand it's almost like the quote, you can't see the forest for the trees. And sometimes you're going to need that outside mediation or that outside perspective, whether it be a pastor, whether it be somebody who's much more experienced and has more wisdom to share. You're going to see this on your journey. And being able to have somebody to say, okay, you're bumping heads, take a step back, breathe. You're on the same team. And having somebody else that can walk with you on that journey. Because I think one of the biggest downfalls is we think that once we get into these relationships, we don't realize that it's an ongoing journey. It's an ongoing process. You don't
Right
just
after
get
the
there and
wedding,
it
we
works.
still have to do stuff.
Exactly. So I think that we need to get to a place to where we realize we need to put in the work to communicate, to trust, to be open and know how we're going to function as a team, but also don't be so hesitant or scared to omit or dismiss the fact that we may also need some help.
That's so good.
So that's something I think we need to address as well.
Okay, I want to tie those together and then I'm going to get with you. That's so good on several levels. Okay, so what I took from what you were saying, Nikita, is basically the man presents the vision because we're going to have to follow. I do know we're in a culture, a society where the women are like, you fitting in my thing. Okay, do you fit? And, because I've been doing this, And that's not how God created it to be. Not that you can't, win, build your businesses, do your thing. I'm doing mine. But when that man comes, what we doing? And I need to know if I can fit in that, right? Because I'm not giving up what I'm doing. And a man shouldn't make you want to give up what you're doing. The man should enhance what you're doing. Am I right? And I should be able to enhance and help him with what he's doing. Am I right, man? Can I get an amen?
Absolutely.
I want to make sure. Okay, so basically what you're saying is when we have this conversation in dating, we need to find out from the man, what is your vision, number one, for your life, right? What is the vision for your life? Where are you going? And then we need to look and see, do I fit that piece of the work, the mission? As Gary was saying, this is a mission. Am I the one who fits to bring this mission to pass? But again, that goes back to us knowing our purpose on earth. And I think that's a big piece that's missing, because if I don't know my purpose, then I don't know if you fit. All I know is you cute, and I'm tired of waiting. So I'm going to marry you. That's about as far as it goes, unfortunately. It's better to marry than to burn. I ain't trying to be burning out here. And the Lord said, so you cute, and, let's get married. And then we don't stay married, or we're struggling in a relationship because we didn't look at purpose and what we're called to do. And now you trying to do this, or you going this way and I'm going that way, and I'm trying to follow you, and you don't know who you are, and you schizophrenic spiritually. Today we doing this, and then tomorrow, you understand what I'm saying? And I'm running like this trying to follow you, right? Or the woman is insecure, and I'm insecure because I don't know who I am. Now I'm trying to suck the life out of you because I'm not holding God. Oh, where you at? What you doing? You didn't call me. You didn't text me. Like, you don't have nothing outside of that man. Right? Okay, I'm going to stop. I wasn't trying to preach. So we basically have to know, where is the vision and how do I fit? And if I don't fit, it's okay to break up before you get married, okay? After that, y'all work that out with Jesus. But I'm saying, because that's an individual thing. But if you don't fit, why are you going to marry somebody and you found out that you don't fit? And I also think we as women, I'm going to speak for women, we shrink ourselves because we just want to be with somebody. We know we don't fit that vision, but maybe I can change for him, or I can get him to change for me. He ain't going to stay doing that. Not after me, baby. And I know what I'm going to do with him. It's crazy. Either you fit or you don't. And it's okay to say, you know what? We good. We going to be friends. I've met so many men, and I'm looking. Are you a project? Or are you a partner? You could be a partner. You might not be married with me, but you might be a business partner. You may be a friend. I might be able to call you, but I'm finding out where you fit, right? And I've met some amazing men of God, and we're like, you're a man of God, you're a woman of God, you're amazing, you're awesome, but we just not on the same place in our mission in life. So let's pray for each other. let's stay in each other's lives in that regard. So it's okay to not make yourself fit somewhere where you just don't fit, because what they say, you cannot put a square peg in a round hole. That's how you're going to be feeling your whole marriage. Still trying to fit. And listen, it's not worth it. Okay. I'm off my soapbox.
Connect with men and women is the mindset. So is that the main disconnect?
I think
why
it's-
women and men can't?
I think it's mindset, but it's more, I think it's mindset, but it's communication about the mindset. Because we haven't communicated as to where we are, and then we settle because we just don't want to be alone, I think. Mom?
One of the things that I see with young women, I'm 71, and I'm with a lot of young women that's 50, 40, 30, 20s, and what I see with them is the fact that they run off of emotion. It's all about how I feel, the woman. And then you jump into it, and the men lie so well now.
Oh, they lie. They've been lying since
I mean, they can really put it together now.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be simple. You knew where they were coming from, but now they slick.
They can Google how to trick a woman.
Yes, study up on you, know your name, know what you like, and go from there.
Yeah,
Yes, you be seduced.
that's the word.
And I see it happening all the time. And then when an older person is standing back and you done that already and have all the T-shirts for it, it's the fact that I already know where you're going with it. And if you're willing to listen,
Yes.
you can learn something. And you have to be very careful when you pursuing these relationships, men and women, because we can lie too.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Because you'll have all the hair, all the lashes, and then
Boy.
when you take it off, yeah. So just all of you guys are much younger than I am, and my advice to anybody on Facebook and on this panel to be careful.
Yeah.
But most of all, you seek God about what you truly want, and don't settle for less.
Don't settle. Say that again for the people in the back. Don't settle. That's so good, Mom. Thank you so much for that. Cause it's a lot of seducing out here, and it's on both sides. Cause we good at it too. We are. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've answered a lot of these questions. Just this conversation, yes. So with the yoking of what you just said, be careful in pursuing them, because I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna move on. If the enemy can't stop you from getting saved, the next thing he's trying to do is stop your influence on somebody else getting saved. And if two comes together, then is greater. And one can chase 1,000 and two could put 10,000. So once he loses your soul, he does not want you to produce somebody else getting saved, right? So if he can't stop you because you on your little way, let me link you with somebody that's not going your way. So now, oh, I'm in love and he's fine and he's this and I need to get married and da-da-da. And we don't know, and they lie or put on the seducing, right? And before we know, have discernment, we're just so caught up in emotion, right? Yes. Then we link, and God honors the yoke. Now we're unequally yoked. And now you like, I was really on the enemy side. I'm not going over there with you. Or I'm not trying to pursue God, or I'm not trying to do ministry. That's good for you, but that's, do your thing, baby. I'll be clapping from back here. But how am I going to move for this? Because I'm yoked to you. Sorry, okay. So I'm yoked to you. Y'all, I'm just authentic. I'm sorry. I'm yoked to you. I can't move. Because you can clap for me from right there, but where am I going? I can't go anywhere. I can't go as far as I could go if we was together. So that is definitely a plot of the enemy to get us unequally yoked. So now I could do so much more with someone who's going my same way. And that's not always just spiritually. Sometimes that can be, like y'all were saying with business. Well, no, I never had a plan to be doing that. I don't want to be with a pastor, like you said. So now I'm still unequally yoked because now you mad sitting at home wondering why you counseling the women. I saw how you laid hands on her. That wasn't no laying of the hands. You understand? Because I wasn't called to that. So we have to be very careful because if the enemy cannot stop you from getting saved, he's going to stop you from impacting the kingdom. Okay. So
I want to say something.
you had
real
to
quick.
add something to say, and then
ma'am.
I'm going to try
Okay.
to.
So I think to kind of answer what everybody is saying right now, I think the very first issue is, are we praying and what are we praying for before entering a relationship in general?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you get into a relationship with somebody and you guys are arguing, you guys may not be equally yoked or whatever the case, but did you talk to God and have a conversation with him about the person that you're getting into a relationship with in the first place?
Right.
And I think that's the very first,
is the
that's the
foundation.
foundation of it. Because we'll get into a relationship with somebody because they're pretty or because they might be handsome or whatever the case, right? But did we consent with God first in that situation? Because he can be saying, hey, look, man, this ain't the one for you. Nah, God, this the one. Nah, this ain't the one for you. Okay, cool, go ahead.
Because he'll eventually let you do
Go
it. I'm a
ahead.
living witness.
And then you get into a relationship
Yeah.
and then you get married and now you're in a relationship where everything is just, you're heated all the
Chaos.
time. Everything is just chaos. But why? Because you never consented with God in the first place. And the second issue is, no offense to you women, but there's a lot of women out here that's seeking a man. The Bible says when a man findeth a woman, he findeth a good thing. So if you're looking for a man, you already in the wrong position.
That's good.
So we supposed to be seeking y'all out. We out here trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're looking, if
Seeking
you're
in the
looking for a
heavens.
man, you've already made that's the first mistake.
I understand that to a extent.
I hear you. I hear
what you're
I hear
saying.
you.
I've
I
heard
hear
that,
you.
and
I hear you.
I want to talk about that. That's good. Now, I feel like it's okay for a woman to desire a man, and when we say looking for a man, I mean don't be out here thirsty. Just every man.
desiring that. I think those are.
But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right, but it's okay. I just want to clarify what you're saying. It's okay to have a desire to be married and have a desire for a man, but every man that walk by, they could just feel you, just just okay. I'm out here, I'm looking, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's okay for us to desire. I mean, that's a good thing. God said marriage is a good thing. He put it together. It's okay for us to want that. He put us to have companionship. He put us together to build the kingdom. Because sometimes we just don't want to carry the water in the house. We need smell.
Right. And it's nothing.
I'm just messing with you. No, but that was a personal note. No, I'm kidding. No, but honestly, when we're doing ministry as women, I'm going to speak for women. There's sometimes, I'm going to speak for women, right? We're doing ministry and God uses us in a mighty way. But there's some things I'm never going to be able to speak to a man about. There's a limitation. I can tell you what God is speaking to me from voice because God speaks to me and I can prophesy to you. But I don't really know how you feel in that. I just know what God is saying. So if I had a husband or, you can really minister to what he's struggling with because I don't struggle with what you struggle with. I just know God said don't do it or do it. Or it's okay. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I think vice versa. So I think it's definitely okay for us to desire a man, but for us to chase a man, I think that's more so what you're saying, right? We're not supposed to chase him. He's supposed to find us. Right. He's supposed to chase us, but we need to let y'all know, hey, I'm available. I'm just messing with you. Okay. Go.
Okay, so my intake on this, it was where my personal opinion or my experience was that the enemy can also distract you also.
That's good.
He can also distract you. He can put you in, he can bring you all these women that that look pretty and that have, all the curves and all that, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, in my opinion, I feel like relationship can either be good for you or it can either burn you.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is where you look for a relationship at if you're wanting a kingdom woman or a kingdom man, and you're looking at the bar, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you like? Come on now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, have some common sense in it, you know. But I know in my personal relationships before I was with God, I would look the whole opposite places. You know what I mean?
good.
I would look at the bars. I would look at and the crazy thing, I wasn't even supposed to be in there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the wrong in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to be very careful, because the relationship could either burn you, or it can be like the kingdom relationship that we desire to have. You know? And so I feel like we do have to be very mindful where we look, because in today's society, on TikTok, on Facebook, look here, you know what I'm saying? Look on, go online, go on these what is it called?
Websites.
Tinder and
Let me tell you.
online and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And you over here looking for all these women that you're not even supposed to be on the website. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so, yeah,
good.
I mean, as a young man, I've had relationships that weren't of God, and I don't know who said it, but it was about that somebody about saying consent. There was one time I was driving, and I had asked God. I just got out of a relationship, and I thought I was in love with this girl. You know what I'm saying? Didn't live for God. Didn't do. You know what I'm saying? I was the one trying to bring her. I was trying to save her. And the Bible says that we are not the ones that harvest the plant. We're the ones that sow the seed, and we're the ones that water it. So I was asking God, like, God, why did you end this relationship? And he was like, well, first, and I guess you could say I was mad at God. Like, I'm being honest with you, I was mad at God.
Good. Tell the truth.
And I was like, God, like, why did you take this woman away from me? I thought she was the one. And God straight up told me, he was like, well, first of all, you didn't even ask. You wasn't even ready in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So why would I even give you something why would I give you something prematurely? You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
good.
yeah, that's my intake on this whole subject. So
That's
yeah.
good. That premature and not ready. So I want to ask this question for men, because of what you're just saying about TikTok, and y'all are just like Instagram, like y'all are just overwhelmed with women and showing everything, and like y'all are bombarded with. Y'all can't probably pick up your phone without getting stuff. Like it just is. I don't even know what to say about it. So how do you guys navigate finding a woman that you actually value as this could be a wife? How do y'all go about that process? This is good for us women to hear, because us women that are, modest and doing all this, and then you got, Miss Hot, yeah, Sasha, as she said, over here, wearing this, showing this, doing this, sending videos of this, and you just like, praise the Lord, and y'all like, oh, I don't want a Christian woman. I need to, and this is what, you know what I'm saying? You want all this extra, but we're taught to be good and don't be this way, right? And we don't want to be doing all that, because that's just not kingdom. But yet, though, you guys seem to kind of go towards that anyway. Help me understand that. Help me understand that.
For me, it's levels. What level you are, what level you're on in your walk with God. Because as I've gone through my process, the higher I've gone, the less desires I have to look. So, am I waiting for a wife? Of course. Am I looking in the wrong places? No. When I don't see modesty, I already know that's a trigger. That's the red flag. Like, there's no modesty there. Run.
That's good.
Don't entertain it. Run.
Right.
Now, have I entertained women that I shouldn't have? Of course. From a place of being approached, but to a certain limit, right? So what I'm trying to say is, depending where you are in your walk, God would tear those desires away from you to physically, to focus or see a woman a certain type of way. Like, now, for me, if I see a woman that's showing off too much, I'm praying for her.
That's good.
Like, Lord, please deal with whatever it is that she's desiring attention for, whatever it is, help her with it, right? Now being attracted to modesty. Like, if I see a woman who's modest, I'm like, God, is she yours?
That's good
Is
to
this
know,
one of your
man.
daughters? Is this one for me? Like, should I pursue? Do I say hello, right? But checking in with God some people say you could overdo it, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, right? Ain't no such thing.
Yeah.
But now I'm being at a place where I see modesty as attractive and beautiful. And when I see less clothes, I see it as not disgusting, but I see it as you're trying to get,
You don't know who you are.
yeah, you're looking for your identity in somebody else's opinion. So it's automatically off switch for me. Yeah. So depending where you are would determine what you entertain.
That's so good. Hold on, sister. That's really good. Thank you for that, because we should not feel as women that we're in competition with all that. We just be ourselves.
So
And then I wanna hear y'all.
what he said, I feel like is right, 100%. But I also feel like, can you hear me? I also feel like you don't know where you're gonna meet the person who God is sending you. You might grow up and be in a club, be in the streets all day long, and you could have found that. So, because I just don't want it to be misconstrued that you cannot find, or there's never been a person who was found somewhere in a place that you're not supposed to be. Think about it. There was a prostitute in the Bible, and God basically forced that situation and said, look, this is what's going to happen. This is who I want you to be with, and this is who you're going to marry. And that took place like that. But to kind of stay away from those situations, I don't have Instagram. I don't have none of these social media sites, because even I'm a man and I'm a married man, but there's still temptation there. So
Yeah.
to avoid the temptation, I'd rather just delete it and not even have it on my phone in general, so I don't make the mistake of going there. Because once you start scrolling, and you can think you've been on there for 5 minutes, and it's really been 30, 45 minutes, and you just been scrolling and liking and looking, and next thing you know, it goes from liking and looking on the screen to liking and looking, and you at somebody's house.
Yeah, that's
You know
how
what
it
I'm
goes.
saying? So
That's
you know,
good. And to that point about, you don't know where you might meet somebody. There are some one-offs in the Bible, but we have to stick with patterns, right? And there was a whole purpose for the prostitute and all that. So I don't want that to go out like that. That's one-offs that God has purpose for, and He's had a bigger picture of why the prostitute had to marry. Hosea had to marry the prostitute. It was to represent something. So I don't recommend y'all going out trying to find a prostitute to marry.
I wasn't saying find a
I'm
prostitute.
just clarifying. Okay.
I
So
apologize.
I'm
Don't
just
find-
clarifying, because people can take stuff and run with it. Like, I'm going to call. Okay. So along those lines, any other men want to add to the modesty of a woman and how y'all being bombarded with women, and how y'all choose? Help us know how y'all godly men choose women.
It's hard because your flesh is going to answer first most of the time. That's any man, right? You know what I'm saying? I heard a preacher say one time, if you know that you weak in certain areas, like on Figueroa in L.A., it's the prostitutes.
Just don't go over there.
Don't go around Figueroa.
Right.
Find another route. But our flesh as men always going to step up first. Now, what's behind that? You know what I mean? As what he was saying. Back to what he was saying. Our flesh going to speak first, and we're going to desire that because it's hard not to. It's on your page. It's popping up. Dang. So I'm strolling to the next picture. It's hard, man. So this is what women are selling.
Yeah, I had a question.
So my question is, since the statement was made that we're not supposed to chase, right? Because, he that findeth the wife. So if a woman approaches you then, right, she's checking your boxes, she's modest, she's whatever, she's pretty, let's just say you know of her, so you know the type of woman she is, the caliber, how she carries herself. If that woman is approaching you, does that make you feel like she's chasing you?
That's a good question.
Or is it okay that she says, hey, you know what I mean?
Like I'm available.
I feel something, yeah, like.
No, I get what you're saying, but no, not at all. So let me retract it a little bit. I definitely don't find an issue with a woman saying anything to a man whatsoever, especially if she's attracted to him or if she thinks that there's something about him or whatever the case. What I'm saying is, there's a lot of thirsty women out here.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of women who just, throwing themselves at you.
And it's sad, but it's
And
the
that's
truth.
what I'm talking about, because you can want a man as bad as you want a man. And there's a lot of women out here that want someone, and that's fine. That's what we're here for. But at the end of the day, don't be that woman who's
Throwing yourself.
throwing yourself. You don't
Yeah.
need to.
Right.
Because y'all
'Cause you the
listen,
prize.
regardless of what a lot of people may think, a man is gonna notice a woman who's sitting over there quiet before he notices the loud one. And y'all and these females out here can be, for better words, they can be Jezebels and running out through in and out the streets or whatever the case. And we're gonna look at that and be okay with it because it's in the club, and that's what we ain't gonna want to marry that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it looks good over here in this sense, but
That's where you're gonna stay.
that's where it's gonna stay at.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it's sad that it's like that, and I feel bad, you know, for a lot of the women
But
out
it's
here
the
who
truth
are
in the streets.
really good women and that are getting dogged by men. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, I've been that dude too at one point before I was married or whatever the case. But that's you know, it's just something that women have to deal with. And again, I apologize for, you know,
On behalf of all men.
on behalf of all men who are ready to grow up and be something different. I
That's so
apologize for
good.
them men. It's other
Thank
men
you
that
for
ain't
that.
ready for that. You know what
Thank you
I'm
for
saying?
that.
So once again, I get what you're saying though.
Thank you for that. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let Mom speak. Women, did y'all hear that? So you taking off your clothes, you doing all this stuff. They gonna leave you where you at. You're gonna be in that lane. So don't be so thirsty that you feel like, oh, you know, I'm gonna get his attention, because that's all you're gonna get for that moment. So we have men here sitting here telling us that we're not looking at you as a wife. Is that what y'all saying? Right?
Fine.
We're not. We're looking at you for fun and fun only, and we're not trying to just have fun. I mean, some of y'all might be. I can't speak for everybody. Okay, Mama.
He said two different words. Desire is one thing. We women can desire a husband, a mate, a friendship, or whatever. He said, but seeking one, that chasing, running you down, can't stop texting and calling, that's two different words.
Yeah.
Those are two different things. And that's what he was saying.
That's good, Mom.
Desire and seek. Women seeking a man is not a good thing. You can desire.
Listen,
One more, y'all.
just
Did
one
y'all
more.
hear?
I apologize, but I just really have to
Go
throw
ahead.
this out. Please, for all y'all women that's listening to this, don't think that if you give it to him, he gonna want you more, because the quicker he get it, the quicker he gonna be gone.
Thank you for that.
So
Absolutely.
understand that.
Thank you
like
for
the
that.
quicker he get it, the quicker he gonna be gone. Now, if you want to keep him, don't give him nothing. Okay,
Did
Don't
y'all-
give him
y'all
nothing.
heard that from
He
the
gonna
mouth of a
stay,
man,
He gonna
15?
stay. He gonna stay. Don't give him nothing.
I don't know what you're saying.
And if he leave, then that's what you wanted anyway.
About an hour and a half. Thank you for that. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear it? Because, you know, I could say that all day long, but a man said it. You got to marry. Okay, so I think we covered that, right? Go ahead. I'm feeling good, you guys, because I'm getting some confirmation from the men.
So, and just like the guys are going to say, one thing that a woman has to understand is that a man has a certain way of looking at a woman, not just the way the woman wants the man to look at them.
Ooh, say that one more time.
And as we live in this digital world, you know, now it's so easy for women to get attention that when we see women literally looking for attention from everywhere, for a good guy, that's going to repel them.
Right.
And, you know, for us, you know, speaking from a biblical sense, we see those as red flags. Of course, anybody and any man, like I said, I could speak for us all, yeah, that would be fun to look at. But of course, it's going to be a lot easier for us just to avoid that, and that be a problem down the road, because if they're trying to get our attention, they're also trying to get a billion other guys' attention
Exactly.
too. So I think that it's really important that women understand we're looking at how they present themselves as well. And one thing that I want to make sure that the women are clear on as well as the men, when it comes to the relationship, we should still be individually focusing on growth.
Yes.
Because you mentioned discernment. and discipline.
Yes.
If we're not growing and we're not disciplined and we're not able to hear or even recognize the warning signs,
Yeah.
the red flags,
Yeah.
then we'll approach somebody or we'll be approached and we won't realize, okay, I should have cut that off sooner.
Yes.
So I just wanted to make sure
So
I threw
good.
that out there because there's a lot of people who don't realize, how am I presenting myself, and then am I attracting what I want? Because there are going to be some women who are going to attract some men that they don't realize they don't want until it's too late.
That's good.
Because if you're online and you're showing everything and you're making it known that you have this figure or that you're ready to settle down with a guy and you're sharing everything about your life, then some guys are going to, they're going to bite, they're going to look, they're going to communicate, but are you sure that's who you want? So you have to be careful what you're attracting as well.
That's so good. They're gonna come up with a plan because you done told them, I
Everything.
just want this, 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 and this. Okay, I'm gonna transform and show up. So I want to ask this one last question. We got to wrap up, you're saying? Okay. Let me ask this last question on both ends because I think this is a great way to end it. How, we're talking about women not chasing and things like that. How do we know, as women, a man is interested? And how do you guys go with approaching women? Is there something, because I've been told, and I speak for myself, that maybe men are just intimidated by you because you're so this and that. And I'm like, what? Should I think in a way of, if a man is intimidated by me, should that not be the man that I want to talk to me? Am I thinking is that off? Help me understand how you guys think in approaching a woman of God who looks like, okay, she has a business. And because I can only say how I see me. You guys can tell me because y'all know me more. And it's a lot of other women who are here that's, successful and love God and, and that are single. How if they're throwing out like, oh, hey, or, just a little bit, not thirsty, but I see you. Do you see me? How do we know, are you guys sometimes just see a woman and like, yeah, she a little bit much? Go ahead.
For me, it's not the intimidation. I think as men, the thing we don't talk about is that we get rejected as well. So a lot of us have to deal with the rejection issues, and then seeing someone that might be on another level than us, but not knowing if they're approachable from a place of, if I approach this person, they reject me, and I get rejected again, right? So having those walls up because of the rejection and not really being confident enough to approach someone at a different level than you, even just to conversate.
Yeah.
But also, men, as we go through the healing process of being rejected, and if we see someone that's at a different level than us, allowing them to understand that we're willing to grow, and not be drug along, that we're willing to grow to become that man, that head of the home, right? So for me, it's as men, we deal with rejection as well. For me personally, I think I've been rejected more by women in the church than I have women outside of the church. So it's
So good.
getting to a place of confidence and saying, okay, God, like, yes or no. But if it happens again, I mean, if I get rejected,
How do I handle that again?
then I got to go through the healing process again. So it's as a man, rejection, dealing with rejection, and that's what makes it difficult for us to approach a woman that's at a different level.
So is that the way that you guys look at us? Like, oh, she looks like she's at this level, and I don't want to be rejected. So how would a woman, piggybacking on that, how would we, if we see you and we're interested in you and you're scared of being rejected, how do we, without chasing you, let you know it's okay to approach me?
I feel like a lot of women don't look approachable in general. Sometimes, sometimes they just stink face, like they just.
But I'm glad that she said. But I'm glad that she said that because.
But that is the truth.
But I'm glad that she said that, and I know it's the truth. But I'm glad that she said that because that's the same attitude that is being portrayed when you're standing by yourself in the store and the guy wants to approach you. If he wants to approach you and you already have in your head, I'm tired of these dudes.
That's good.
I'm sorry, real quick.
It's getting juicy.
People tell me all the time I have that resting face, right? But if you look at me and make eye contact with me, you automatically finna get a gap and some dimples. So it's not so much that somebody looks unapproachable. You have to be up to see, and it's not a challenge, but you got to be up to the challenge. Come say hello, bump into me, drop some, do something that's gonna have to cause you to talk to me, so you can hold on, so that you can see that I am approachable. Because just because I look that way doesn't mean that. And if you aren't taking the time out to try to get to know me or speak to me, you would never know that. I'm super chill, I'm goofy, I'm sweet, and I do look mean, and it is something I'm working on. However, you will not know if you don't speak to me. If you don't say excuse me or wave or anything, you'll never know. So as the man, I feel like for me, make the effort to say something to me, to see what type of attitude and body language I give you when I speak to you. When you say hello, if I'm like, hey, I can understand that. But if you say, hey, and I'm say, hi, how are you? Automatically, what I look like should be out the window, because now you know she's approachable. You gotta approach me and see.
But if they don't know up front, then pause on that.
Yes, ma'am.
Look mean over there.
Yeah.
She just opened her mouth. She's sweet as hell.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Excuse me.
Pause that.
I'm
right
not supposed
there.
to be easy to get to,
No,
though.
pause. I want to say this too real quick, and I'm gonna go to. So basically, like she said, if he's dealing with rejection and you over here like, hey, I'm not gonna approach you because I feel like you already look like I'm sick of y'all. So let that be noted. You need to work on us, not you personally, us as African American women, especially, because sometimes we thinking and we don't even know we over here thinking about some bills or something, thinking about our kids and what we got to do.
But at that moment, we might be focused on something else.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not even.
But if you can just give a smile and let a dude know, hey, I'm smiling at you. Oh, okay, she's a
Pause.
I don't know how to. It was like, well.
Well, you need to be okay. So we need to be aware. Hold on. So we can only take the feedback. We can do it or not, right? So basically, the feedback we're getting from men is we need to be aware of how we rest our face, and you don't need to worry about being approached anyway, because you're taking. But 1 minute. Let me finish this. So basically, we need to be aware, and I will say, I know I have a friendly. People tell me I'm way too friendly. Ooh, there goes my earring. Just trying to run. But anyway, I'll leave it. People say that I'm too friendly, but I smile at men a lot. And I'm like, hi, and I'm always giving them the head nod. And I have ran into men these days. They just keep walking like, I'm like, where's your mama? Like, who taught you that? Like, you know what I'm saying? I've told mom, like, I'm just, how you doing? Because I feel like every man, every woman should be respected and spoke to. I don't care what you look like. I don't care. I'm going to speak. You could be the gas station attendant. You could be whatever. I'm going to treat you with respect and speak very friendly. But I have found, walking through stores and stuff, how you doing? And they just,
We
like,
experience the same thing as
Absolutely.
as men,
So-
especially black men.
okay, so it's a lesson to be learned here for all of us. We need to become more approachable. See. We got to be approachable and not thirsty. So we need to find we can't be like, hey, or we can't be like, or.
You gotta be approachable, but he gotta make effort too.
Yeah. So
how does he know
so when I say this, if a man sees a woman that he feels like he might be rejected by, if he approaches her, will he overcome that fear? Does that mean like will he overcome that fear if he's really interested? Or will he just, it's like, man, I'm just going to have to shoot my shot because this girl is everything? Or will he be like, I just can't, even though she's everything?
Shoot your shot.
I want to know. Okay, shoot shot. Okay.
I think so, especially if there's.
I feel like they're worth it.
Especially if you're hinting like I'm cool, I'm approachable. Like you don't have to say it, but like with a hey, how are you, or a simple wave, not like a like would you
Right.
No, don't. But it just depends on, and I think a lot of things we're not discussing is the fact that just as women are dealing with a lot mentally, men are as well.
Yeah.
And for me, I know personally, it's not just me, but getting other men to the place of wanting to go through the healing process. So we can be more kingdom in the church and actually put these husband and wives together.
That's good. We're going to talk about that.
Because one person's feeling rejected and the other one's like, hey, but the guy's not healed yet. So it's like more shielded, more closed off. So it's, I guess it's being, both of you mutually being at a place to be able to receive and
So
be compatible.
That's so good. And so along those lines, another thing, because this is the conversation, what's keeping us from coming together? We're not healed. We're not healed. And as you were saying, to your point, it's okay to get some counseling to somebody to help you. Is what you were saying, Marquita. Get a coach. Like, especially in our culture, I ain't crazy. It's the first thing we say when it comes to therapy. No, y'all, I'm not crazy. I know what I'm talking about. No, you don't, because you're failing in your relationship. And it's okay to say, I need some help. No, I don't think any of the sports people are like, nah, I'm good, coach. I don't need you. No, they trying to get better, right? So to your point, in order for us to come together better, we need to be whole. And okay, it may not be that we're whole before we get married, because a lot of times we discover our hurts and bruises after we're married, because sometimes marriage reflects, right, something that we didn't see at first. But I do believe that it is our responsibility to be as whole as we can before we enter into a marriage, because a lot of us want to be married because we don't like us. I don't want to deal with me, so I need somebody to distract me from me. So can you please come and be my distraction? And now you're not giving me enough attention to distract me from me, and now I'm going to strangle you, right? So I really feel like, especially in our culture and just period, we have to become whole. We have to, number one, accept who God is to us, and we need to accept the love that God has for us. And in accepting that, if I accept the love God has for me, then I accept what he says about me. If I accept what he says about me, then I'm good. And I love me because he loves me, and he said I'm good and I'm valuable. Now I accept step 2, and then after that, now I can love you out of the love I have for me. And I feel like we skip, I say this a lot in my coaching sessions, and it's all the time, the people that I coach, they skip step 2. God said, love the Lord thy God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, and with all your strength. And then the second commandment is like unto it, love your neighbor, and people put neighbor as number 2, as yourself. But neighbor is not 2. He just said it second. But you love your neighbor as yourself. If I'm loving my neighbor as myself, that means it's God, me, then neighbor. So what I think we're trying to do is accept God's love. Oh, I love you, Jesus. Now let me love Camden. So Camden, love me. I'm going to love you. You love me enough for me to love me. And so now it's all backwards, and you're not loving me enough, so I don't love me, and you don't love me, and now we got a fight. Now I'm going to divorce you because you ain't loving me enough for me to love me, right? So if we love God and we accept the love for ourselves, because that's where we're missing it. We're missing valuing and loving ourselves. I could speak for myself in that regard. I love me now, and it's okay for me to love me. And a lot of times I run into people and say I love me, and they think something wrong with me because they don't love them, right? And I'm like, no, you're supposed to. Yes. And then out of that overflow of love for me, I can now love you. And we have been taught to love others first, and that's a lot of codependency. I'm loving you, and if you're okay, then I'm okay. But I can't be okay until you're okay, because you got to give me the love. You got to fill my love bucket, because it's not full with me and God, right? And I think as we begin to have that love for ourselves, we can overflow, which sends to my next question about marriage, when the Bible talks to the men, and he says to love your wives as yourself. No man ever hated himself, but how many men hate themselves and get married? So if God is telling the men to love your wife as yourself, that's what's taking place. You don't like you. And so you don't like me, because you can only project what you feel about you to me. So now I'm the outside you because I'm one with you. I'm the you that you can abuse, because you abuse yourself inwardly. You talk harshly to yourself. You talk to yourself. Man, you need to get it done. You sorry, man. You need to. And now you're projecting that, because I am the other you that you can actually touch and speak to outside of you. And I feel like the abuse and things that happens in marriages is because the man is supposed to love the wife as himself, but again, he does not love himself. He despises. I coach people all the time who hate themselves They don't believe it until I dig down to the dirt and I show you don't like you. And you trying to get other people to like you first. But you got to like you first because that's what you're projecting, right? So I think another issue that we're uncovering, why we can't come together, is because we don't like ourselves and we're projecting in our relationships how we feel about us. Earring, just stay out. I'm just gonna let it go. Okay. All right. So the cameraman have a question. Oh, you don't? Okay. We're done. Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap up anyway. So, now what I want to do before we go is I want to give you guys all a chance to introduce yourselves. And we don't have a lot of time. Can't you plug it? No? Okay. So, so introduce yourselves and tell the people what you do. And I thank you guys. Let's put a hand together for this. I think this is amazing. You guys did awesome. And you didn't say a word. Next time you're not going to get away so easy, Tam. Okay. All right, let's start from this way. Oh, this way? Okay. Go ahead, cousin. Start with Nicole, and we're going to go this way, like that. Bounce back and forth.
Okay, well, my name is Nicole Snow.
Use the mic.
Oh, sorry, forgot about that. My name is Nicole Snow, and I am a marriage and family therapist. I'm also a minister. I also have my own ministry. I work with women, family, children, and this is a very important conversation that can go much deeper.
Yeah, and
it definitely needs to go on. There's so much to explore.
Yes, we will have. This will not be the last conversation. Go ahead.
My name is Marquita Maxey. I work as a financial coach. Also, I'm excited that I have launched my own nonprofit, so I'm looking forward to doing more outreach and education. I absolutely believe this conversation needs to continue to go on, because it's a process and it's a journey for us all. So I think we all need to be here to support each other. We need to look for the character of each other and the spirit of each other outside of just what the appearance of each other look like, too. So I just want to throw that in there.
Perfect. I love it. These are some amazing people here on this panel.
My name is Roger Stanley, environmental health and safety. I definitely enjoyed the conversation today. I just want to throw that out there. There's definitely a lot more that can be explored in these situations, so definitely open to the next one.
Thank you so much for being here.
I also have 4 kids and I'm married.
He like, wait, I just don't do environment. I got Mama Shy.
Hi, my name is Tamara Paxton. I'm a HR professional, and I met Naisha through work. We've developed a wonderful friendship with each other. I just want to thank you for the opportunity. I know I didn't get a chance to say much today, but this conversation was very good, very enlightening, because we're getting the perspective from both male and female on a lot of things that we don't have the opportunity to get the answers to on a regular basis. So I really appreciate this conversation today, and dittoed most of the things that were said and shared. So that's myself. Oh, and I also do interior decorating on the side.
Shouldn't be on the side, just plug. The girl is amazing. Can I see my phone? Okay, keep going.
My name is Kalisha Newsome, and I have a childcare business. I own a childcare business.
Yes, and that's girl. I'm gonna let you get away with that today. But she's an amazing woman as well. Go ahead.
And I'm Nikita Maxey, and I work full-time oil and gas, and I have multiple entrepreneurial ventures, and I'm also in the process of establishing my nonprofit to help with youth and young adults. So
awesome.
Yes, my name is Gary Lewis. I like to call myself a blue-collar guy. I work for Toyota at the Toyota plant building trucks for now. I'm a youth pastor at my church as well. Also in the process of building with a brother of mine, building a homeless ministry where we go out and feed the homeless and minister and pray for them. And there's some other entrepreneurship things that I'm working on right now as well. So
amazing. Yeah. And no, you guys are not seeing double. No, I'm just kidding. There is a set of twins here. All right, so my name is Naisha Wingate of Naisha Wingate Ministries, and I'm also a transformational coach. I help people identify the limiting beliefs and their core beliefs to be able to overcome and avoid any distractions that keep them from reaching any goal. And so that is what I do, and I'm also a minister. So thank you guys so much, and we will continue. We'll come back, and I have something special for you guys at the end.
My name is Camden Chavez. I'm a CDL truck driver. I'm also in school for real estate right now. Also, I want to say that I am the baby of this group. So as y'all are watching, I'm also getting wisdom from these wonderful people. But I know that God has called me to be an imitator of Him and to save people my age. And so, yeah, I just encourage everybody that's my age that it's okay to not fit in and to do the Lord's work. So
That's good. And he's 21, so that's his age.
My name is Valerie Griffin, and I'm Naisha's mom. But I have to tell a little backstory. She was married to my son when she was 21, and a year and 8 months later, he was killed. So I've gone from mother-in-law to mom.
Yes. So she's
And I am a people coach,
yes, you are.
enthusiast.
Yes, you are.
I love my church, Freedom Life in Cuero, and I'm an all-around working and performing in the gift of helps.
Yes, you are. Amen. Amen.
All right, everybody. My name is Roger Brooks. I'm in the health and safety business. I'm also an entrepreneur. It was a pleasure to be here, and I can't wait to the second part of this.
Awesome. And then we have my sister on the end, Miss Shanique Knight. She threw this all together with the help of everybody else at the last minute because she's just amazing like that. And then we have my brother, yes I am. My brother is Dre on the camera. And we also have this amazing man of God, Mr. Gary, on the sound. So I wouldn't dare leave any of you out. So I want to say that I want to invite you all to my coaching challenge, which is going to be January 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And it's going to be at 12:30 Central Standard Time. It is going to be free this time. So I would say you guys should get in. It's going to be amazing. And I definitely will have all the details on my website. Today is also the launching of my new website, NaishaWingate.com. Say it again. So the challenge, I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to have a challenge, and it will be on the website, NaishaWingate.com. And you guys will be able to pull that up now and see the website. So we are launching that today, and everyone here today is going to be able to see the website for the first time. And the challenge is going to be January 23rd, 24th, and 25th. So this is going to help you get your new year on track and help you to be able to avoid all the distractions coming your way in 2023 so you can reach your goals, okay? So it's going to be a free challenge this time. You'll be able to click the link on the website to sign up. So please go there. You can go there now, and you can sign up for the challenge. Again, this is free this time. Okay, so thank you guys again for joining this time, and please meet us back another time. And if we didn't get to your questions, because honestly guys, all these questions was basically answered in the conversation. If you have questions, you can still put your questions in the comments, and we will go back through and we will answer them in the comments. So please put your questions in. And I love you guys, and thank you to all of you guys for being here, and thank you everyone for watching, whether it's now or later. Thank you. I love you. Everybody say bye.
Bye.